paid. Here we go. Hey, what y'all be doing? What y'all be doing? Hey, here we go. Here we go. Welcome back to the Cowboys Connect. You know, it's your boy Ray, your favorite uncle, that auntie thriller. Me. That's me. Hey, that's me. Then I got my tag team partner over there. That guy, AJ Russ, aka Swaggy Russ. Collectively, we are known as the Cowboys Connect. We are connecting you to America's team. We got your plug for the Dallas Cowboys. Ride with us. Make sure you tap in, liking us right here on the Attack on Media Network, and follow all of our social medias. You see it scrolling across the bottom. Tap in with your boys, man. We here. Football is here. We've been hyped up for a minute now. Training camp has already started. We're already seeing some great stuff. And the one thing we really want to talk about today is the Cowboys already having a leg up. Get it? A leg up, because you have foot injuries. A lot of these guys have always, for the last couple seasons, we've had guys started off on the injury list and try to ramp up and get ready. Looks like everybody's a go for training camp. As Araku had the surgery in the offseason, he's ready to go. Deron Bland, he had his surgery. They said he's all go to start training camp. Man, that's great because they need the reps. They need the reps as Araku in year 2. New defensive regime. So he needs to get those reps there. Deron Bland, we've seen how special that guy has been and can be. But one of the things we talked about DeMarvin Overshawn a couple videos ago, availability. That's the best ability, is being available. But when he's available, he's great. 2024, he was ranked number 31 on the NFL top 100 players by his peers. So we see the special, the specialness he has there. And also, he just got that bag last offseason. So Cal was like, all right, man, we done paid you, boy. But he got some competition in that room. Deron Bland may have some competition in there. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, he absolutely does. I mean, you bring in Kobe Durant, who had 6 interceptions last year, 3 in the regular season, 3 in the postseason with the Rams last year. That's one. Then obviously, you have Shavon Rebel, who also, that's another guy. Like you talk about, he was injured as well too. Of course, going into his rookie year, he returned later in the year, but didn't necessarily get off to a great foot just because, the scheme and stuff like that as well too. I don't think you can necessarily judge him fairly off of what he played last year. That's another guy there. So that's just from a secondary perspective alone. And you mentioned Donovan Ezaraku, who he showed a lot of flashes. His run stopping ability was really good. You're just hoping that the pass rush can ultimately get unlocked this year too. Him and Malachi Lawrence being there together as a Malachi being a rookie and then Ezraku being going into his second year. I think those are 2 guys definitely to target. But the blessing is that everyone is healthy right now, so you don't have to necessarily speculate, oh man, once he gets back, we'll see where they're truly at. We can just truly see everyone battle for an equal opportunity to get great reps. Get great competition. Like we talked about, competition. You have to breed competition every single day because we want this team to be a real Super Bowl contender. Ultimately, that's the goal. And even from everybody being healthy as well too, and Lord willing, it's able to stay that way going into the joint practices. That's when you're truly going to be able to see where you are. You have 2 obviously against the Saints with the Rams. That's going to be the biggest one in terms of you're trying to say you're a Super Bowl contender. You want to be on February 14th in SoFi. That's what Brian Schottenheimer has said ad nauseum multiple times. That's truly where you're going to see, because I remember last season they talked about the joint practice and the Rams were running the football down the Cowboys' throat in that per report. So you're hoping obviously that's eliminated. You're hoping that the secondary looks better. Obviously you're playing against Matthew Stafford, the running MVP in that joint practice. So that's good on good right there too. So those are just some different factors to definitely pay attention to. But the blessing is that really everyone is healthy going into Oxnard right now, and then hopefully God willing, coming out of it, everyone is healthy as well too. Hopefully nothing like that happened to Tyler Guyton last year. That's too. So this is definitely a great situation right now that the Cowboys are in.
For real, because you want to be in a situation right now with the Carolina Panthers, someone they was expected to be a key contributor this year. Your pass rush defensive side of the ball, he's done for the year, and we see that every year. It's someone to start off is done for the year, and we're hoping this year, the Cowboys come out of this really unscathed in training camp, because first time these guys are about to start putting pads on next week for the first time. So this has been several months since the last time you guys have pads. So your body has to get readjusted to that, reacclimated to getting contact. Now, granted, they don't do a bunch of contact in practice versus years prior, old days, like my days and stuff like that. But it still is a possibility. But you see a lot of these non-contact injuries pop up. you see those freak accidents have been popping up. It reminds me of like how many years ago was it? Remember Deshaun Watson had that freak accident? No, was it Bridgewater? Was it Bridgewater?
Deshaun was at something entirely different. But,
no, it was Bridgewater. I'm sorry, I said Bridgewater. I remember it was like, oh my god, like it was a freak accident, like many years ago when Teddy Bridgewater looked like he was gonna be like that guy in Minnesota. This has been about 10 years ago, a while back ago. You've seen the stories of these happening before, even in Dallas. Sam Williams, perfect example, a couple seasons ago, coming into training camp, they didn't even get pads on yet. He just a freak injury. So yeah, hopefully you come out of this with no issues, because like I said, this is the first time in forever we don't have nobody on any of the injury list. Everybody should be a full participant. That should be able to go. I know we had talked about Jalen Thompson. He was on the cords for a little bit, but look like he's gonna be fine as well too. So I think that's a big boost, and that's a good thing, having everyone not having to catch up, ramp up, get in football shape, conditioning and all that stuff. Everyone's ready to go, and hopefully everyone passes their physicals, and we get this with things going, because you're implementing a new defense this year, which is going to be really, really important. And I think this year, I said this before to you, I think this year is more of a bigger year than Shoddy's first year as coach. I think year 2 is going to be a real stepping stone for the future of this team. One, for the defensive side of the ball, and 2, evolving the offense. You had a great offense last year, but how can we evolve that even more? So when you're having everybody available, you can communicate, over communicate is the word that's been going around this offseason, and it's important when you have everybody there.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's important, that what you just said too, about the offense evolving. And of course, we'll talk about the defense in a second, but the offense evolving, because everyone just has that pre-received notion that this offense is going to be great, which we know when 4 is out there. I mean, obviously that's the truth. And you implement George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, that's 2 top 10 wide receivers right there too. Javonte Williams, Roy Flanoy being one of the best wide receiver 3s, and offensive line too as well. So I mean, you expect that. But I mean, really, ultimately, overall, it's about being more complementary. Like, it's not even necessarily from a stats perspective, because you don't want as much pressure on the offense. You want the defense to be complementary, so you can have a more balanced football team, and ultimately that results in more success and more winning too. So I mean, that's that. But obviously, like we talked about the injuries, I mean, that's a part of football, unfortunately. So God willing, if they have any, for example, hopefully they're just minor. I mean, you want none, of course, too, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be realistic with it too. But like what you said about Schottenheimer in terms of this being a more important year 2, he essentially did with the defense what he did with the offense last year in terms of the staff, like hiring his own guys. I mean, that's a blessing that the Jones finally were able to get out their own way. They saw the mistake, and they earned their ways last year, just bringing in Flus without letting Schottenheimer bring in his guys. Now that Christian Parker is there, now all the defense assistants as well too, like Ryan Smith from the secondary standpoint as well too, defensive line coach, well, Marcus Dixon, all coaches of that nature as well too, Scott Simons. Like, they have a real path in a mix of guys who didn't necessarily know each other going into the Cowboys regime, but that's the best thing, because you're not necessarily hiring your friends like Mike McCarthy did. You're hiring the best qualified people to get the most out of your personnel, and that's the main thing. That's where you see teams have true success in the NFL and in sports overall. So I mean, I think they're building up a great ingredient there, and I mean, they have a lot of pedigree, whether it's from coaching in the NFL and college coaches as well too. So it's a perfect mix to be able to connect with guys and relate to them guys, especially in this current NIL era and just how football is right now too.
And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. What I was about to say, like, they are still kind of close relative in age to some of these players, so you can relate to the lives of these players and the things these players are going through. Also, on top of that, one of the things that are really great, the Cowboys took their time building that defensive staff this year. Like, normally, the Cowboys like, oh, this guy's a former head coach that's known for defense, that's our defensive coordinator. No, they changed their approach. They realized, like I said this in one of the last videos we did, I was like, they realized, okay, what we've been doing has not been working. Finally, it took the light bulb went off. Did it take a while for that light bulb to go off? Yeah, it took a minute for it to go off, but I think it's going off, and they're figuring, all right, let's make some changes here, because look what they did on defense. Potentially, you have a lot of your future on defense for many years to come if you hit on an Ezra Raku, if you hit on Malachi Lawrence. Of course, I feel like we're going to hit on Caleb Downs, Savon Ravel. That's your core of your defense for many years to come if all those guys pan out correctly. So that's why it's gonna be big for Deron Bland, especially, like I said, he just got a bag last year, a nice bag at that one. I think about $22 million a year on average is what his deal is worth. But I think you can move on from that guy after this year. If he's not healthy, I think Dallas may be okay with moving on from him, because you've seen what they've done. They drafted Savon Ravel, right? You went and got Kobe Durant. And there's a guy I don't think people are talking about it right. Devin Moore, you got in the 4th round, which I think that guy, everyone is sleeping on that guy. But I've looked at his tape. That guy's a big corner. Man, you got him. You got some guys on his rosters that are competing. That's secondary. There's gonna be a lot of good battles. I know last video we talked about the linebacker. Kind of like gonna be a lot of battles there. That corner room is gonna have some interesting battles because we're gonna be running a lot of nickel and stuff like that. So, we're expecting Caleb Downs to play a lot of the slot. Kind of be a Swiss Army knife and moved all over the field. So that may take one of those corners off the field. So you're gonna have some competition. And with Deron Bland, I think a lot of his success happened when he was in the slot personally, but then they moved him outside. He hasn't been able to consistently stay outside due to injury, so that's why I think it's going to be really big, and I think it's really important for him to come in here with no injuries, coming off of that surgery, being able to go hit the ground running essentially. That's going to be really important because I think this is going to be a big year for him. One, from front office standpoint, and two, his play on the field as well.
Absolutely. And then like the thing about it is too, with it being a few years now removed from his best season in 2023, like we saw last year in that Cardinals game against Marvin Harrison Jr., like teams are going to try him. Yeah. They're going to see where he truly is, man. I mean, so you have to be able to, embrace that as well too. I mean, obviously, the scheme, being able to help with that as well too, combat the offensive plans too will contribute into that too. But overall, Bland is going to have to, perform. And obviously this scheme is going to be more predicated on zone as well too. So I mean, there's some of that. So knowing your responsibilities, things of that nature as well too. But like also, taking chances in terms of like, you don't want to do that too much, risk a big play happening too. Yeah. So all that plays hand in hand together. But like what you said, I mean, this corner room, I mean, we can probably say most Cowboys fans would agree it was the worst room last year from a defensive perspective and overall on the team. So like you need competition ultimately in that. And like you said, Devin Moore, I mean, he's a tall, rangy corner as well too. He dealt with some injuries at Florida, but him out there too, I think he has a lot of potential as well too. And we've seen like even in the past, Deron Bland, he was a 5th round pick his rookie year, and then the year after 2023, like he was able to contribute too. So like there's a lot of pathways for the secondary to not only be improved, but be a real strong suit of this defense and team overall.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This is going to be big. Guys, I want y'all to comment below. Tell me, what do you think about this? The Cowboys going into training camp healthy. What are your expectations from these players? We talked about like an Ezra Raku and Deron Bland. What are your expectations? What do you think their season is going to look like? Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our personal channels. Tick it across the bottom. Of course, the Attack on Media family. Make sure you watch us here. You can also catch us on the NFC East Roundtable on this channel as well too. Tap in. Hey, remember, you loved out there, and always, how about them Cowboys? We the Cowboys Connect. Here we go. We're going to catch y'all next time, all right? Okay.